And so when we look at ranching, we look at public lands, we look at these large landscapes, done correctly, it works for everything. If we think really carefully, there are absolutely important uses of land and water conservation funding, even in a county, 92% public lands. I mean, if you just look right there, I mean, that's what it looks like. Well, our land in the West is at stake, and our communities and our culture, opportunity, all those things are at stake. And you know, I don't think you can have a healthy urban area in the absence of blighted, or in the presence of blighted rural areas. And vice versa, I don't think you can have healthy urban areas if you have blighted rural areas and land that is no longer accessible and that we're no longer taking care of the way we should. It's probably one of the biggest economic drivers in the state of Idaho. It's what attracts new talent, new businesses to our state, and this is an important part of making sure those things remain. So yeah, without land and water conservation fund, not a good picture. And then when you look at the spawning, and this is a real critical spawning area for salmon right here. We purchased 19 acres right at the mouth of Dry Gulch, and those 19 acres overlook the Salmon River. And anybody would like to have a home right there on 19 acres overlooking the Lemhi River, and if you purchase that and put a home, and you just simply put up a fence, Dry Gulch would no longer be accessible, and all the land behind it would no longer be accessible for the public. And not only for the public for recreation, but for ranchers that rely on that conduit to move their cattle onto the grazing lands. So yeah, these are kind of the things that land and water conservation does. So it builds our communities, it protects our lands. Yep. And moose, cattle and moose. There, what do you think about that in one photo?